Yeah, what we talking about today?
Growing up black.
Like, where the growing up black?
Everybody did a question.
I grew up black.
They in the group?
Yeah.
It's not really much.
Talk about how you grew up and being black. And how you.
Like it's on. Okay.
What is it? Welcome to our Melanie Infused Creation for Intellectual Conversation. I am your nation.
I am a nation.
You're the nation. Like, we cannot be part of the nation.
This is a live blooper or something.
If you don't open up like you got some common sense, don't do that.
Oh, we already started?
Yeah.
Oh! I didn't know that the camera was really rolling.
So let y'all know.
Welcome to MelaniNation, bringing you the beautiful and intelligent conversation to all our melanin-infused creations. My name is Jody. Moji, whatever. Jody. You know me, Jody, by my government.
All right. It's your girl, Lil Baldy.
Wakanda forever. It's your girl, CJ.
It is your favorite Miss Omega contestant, Cheetah Rose, you guys.
What up, it's Dab. Yeah. And today we're going to be talking about growing up black. But before we get into that, you guys know that we always start off with the news. So, anybody want to kick it off?
Me.
No.
So y'all know it is officially Omega Week. Yes, RQQ to the wholesome bros of the legendary Qs. Y'all stay in tune to your group me's, your Twitters, your Instagram, and your Snapchat for all your local events. But tomorrow, be in the caf between 11 and 2 for a little surprise, ladies. It's Ladies Appreciation Day, and the Wholesome Bros got a special treat for you. And also, Thursday night, you better be at the Miss Omega pageant. You don't want to miss it. That was the best ad I've ever seen. That was the best ad. No, because I'm getting ready. I'm getting ready. So, because I'm going to be like, hi, my name is Sabria Williams. I am.
Sorry. Any worldwide news?
Yeah. Black Panther made almost $500 million in its first.
In the top 5 for opening weekend. Yes.
If you haven't gone to see it,
go see it. What you waiting for?
It's a new feature.
That's right.
Don't say it's pretty cool. That movie was popping. New feature. It was like pop. It was
amazing.
Oh, see, Amber dropped a picture of her daughter, y'all, and her baby daddy. Yes. With his point self, girl. You really upgraded this time from the codeine, weed, smoking.
Ain't nothing wrong with that.
Purple, fake print, licking ass future. So,
all right. Next, what's next?
Wendy Williams said that Beyonce needs auto-tune, and that's why she be falling on the stage. See, it's called karma.
All
right.
Anybody got shot recently? That is not funny. That's not funny.
So.
But while we're on the topic of, bad people in this world, Luke Bryan came out with a song. He's a country artist for y'all that don't know. And he came out with a song that he believes most people are good. And it's so great. I was just listening to it in my car because, I just go through stations and I knew my man's voice. So, like I said, you guys should listen to it. It'll really give you hope in this dark time in America's, history.
I don't really like country,
I thought the topic was
on the black. Harry Underwood girl.
For that MVP, the All-Star game, but shout out Quavo for that MVP, bro.
Yes, Fergie, what were you doing? What were you doing, Fergie?
No, here was robbed.
Fergie, what are you doing?
Say that.
High key.
What?
No, it was robbed, but Fergie.
Fergie. You worse than Mariah Carey right now. Trying to hit these notes that don't exist. No, don't play Fergie like that. She was at least a little better than Mariah Carey. No. Like Mariah Carey's here and then Fergie's right here.
Okay.
Fergie couldn't even decide if she wanted to sing like a black woman, like a Latino woman. If she wanted to throw a little country in there, she wanted to add a little
soul. Like she was making anthem sexy. Like no. I've never seen anything like that in my entire life.
You ain't Whitney Houston. Sit down.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Cool. That's all the news.
That's all I got.
Any new music from anybody that's showing?
Some comments to make about LeBron and
oh yeah, she basically told LeBron to shut up and dribble.
Maybe she ignorant.
Just in the white woman fashion.
Why did she tell LeBron shut up and dribble? Y'all elaborate because y'all don't watch sports.
She's racist.
Oh, the news lady. Oh well, if she want to play, I want to start a hashtag. Shut up and stop sleeping with your cousin.
Whoa.
I don't think that's.
Shut up and fire
Trump.
Trump.
I don't think that's gonna-
Shut up and stop trying to be black. Shut up and leave our men
That's
alone.
not gonna really.
That's a good one though. Shut up and leave her man alone.
Yeah.
Shut up and get a hobby back in, you know. I'm starting that. That's gonna be trending tonight. Shut up and get a hobby back in.
It's
Yes.
problematic because she basically said that LeBron is not qualified to speak on political issues because he didn't go to college or something, or he's not a
he doesn't
politician.
touch
But Donald Trump is not a politician; he's a reality star. So that was
Donald Trump can't even balance his own finances in his companies, but yet he
Donald
want to
Trump has
make
filed
America great
bankruptcy
again.
multiple times. So what makes you think he's
Make
speechless this
Tuskegee
world?
great again.
That's a definite must. Oprah, come by Tuskegee, girl. We need you. Buy it.
Anyways, you guys, we're gonna hop into the topic for this week.
Yeah.
Growing up black.
And it's growing up black, you know? What does it mean to grow up black? How did you grow up black? Like,
Ooh, Sunday. No, Saturday nights leading up to Sunday morning. Did y'all have to lay out y'all church clothes? Iron them.
No, not really.
Okay, so I guess I woke up to gospel music. I guess I grew up black and southern. I mean,
Wait, y'all starting the conversation?
yeah.
I thought we were taking a break.
What?
you took a break already?
Break?
Oh.
Oh.
Y'all, our producer is now fired.
Whoa.
We're gonna take a quick break, guys. We'll be right back with the topic: growing up black.
Ooh, shut up and
Fuck!
Okay.
It's like you. It's like. Alright, hold on.
That was the loudest fuck ever. Oh my
A
god.
distance game. So,
You have to do math.
nah. The fuck.
You said addition game.
Joey,
So I don't even
okay.
think I'm gonna play.
All right, y'all.
Well,
Oh, excuse me.
Oh, shit.
back
That scared the mess out of me.
Hey, director.
right now.
Uh-huh.
Oh!
Jody.
Welcome back to MelaniNation. Well, we bring y'all know the rhyme. I forgot it, but we're talking about growing up black today, you know, and what it means and everything that goes into it. So, does anybody want to pop off with how they feel they grew up black, or like when's the first time that you grew up and you realized like, oh, I'm different?
Well, that happened quick for me because you know what? You see this skin tone here. I went to like an all predominantly Hispanic, Asian, white school. So, you know, when I saw that there were only 3 people that looked like me, including my older sister, and this is like, it was a school from kindergarten to 8th grade. I was like, oh, look at that. Then I started getting bullied for my skin tone, but I was like, I don't give a fuck. I'm cute. That's how that worked.
Well, me growing up in the South and my mom basically being a mud, that ain't really funny, but my mom was biracial, everyone, and she married a Caucasian man, but he came later in the picture. But anywho, when I was about 6 or 7, and somebody asked me at Walmart, because you know how little bad children get lost in Walmart, I was that bad child. And somebody asked me to point out my mom. Now, my mom is passable for anything, to be honest. That's just how bright she is. So when I pointed out my mom, they was trying to tell me that can't be your mom. And I was like, what do you mean? That's my mom. They was like, your mom's not white, your mom's black. And when I told my mom, like, you know, when I walked up to her, I told her what she said, my mom went off. And then my mom had to explain to me, okay, baby, you're African American, your skin color. Like, she went all through the lecture and basically said, that was actually the first time I had got a racist talk. Like, what was racism and how to address racism, even though it didn't work. It didn't work.
Okay. I just want to say one thing. I figured it was like growing up black. You notice like certain things about your parents too. Like I'm sure some of you guys have waking up and your mom's just yelled at you or something like that. Like my mom was like, Devin, get you out the bed. You over here laying down this Sunday. You know, you got to get up, clean up. I'm like, okay, look, I just woke up. It's 6 o'clock in the morning.
Ain't no cleaning.
Why are you yelling right now? And she's like, oh, we got to clean up. Like, usually, well, for me at least, it was the clean up Sunday. Like, we had to get up, clean up, or like go to church and then come back and clean up. Don't take no naps, but usually, that church nap be the rest.
Yeah, sure do. After you done sitting here and God said, yeah, you just be ready to go to sleep after that. But
do y'all think that's abuse? That cycle? I feel like it's a cycle. You know, black parents, they learn from their parents, yell at their children, discipline them by whooping them.
I don't think it's abuse though.
Your mom yelling abuse.
I don't think it's abuse. I mean, I feel like it's for one, I feel like it's building character.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also discipline.
Why?
Because I feel like so say Caucasians, right?
Mm-hmm.
They don't wake up from their mothers yelling at them or something like that. So it's like with us, it's a whole different story. Like if you was to go to your Caucasian friend's house on Sunday, you wouldn't wake up to hearing his parents get up, you know what I'm saying? Like doing any
get up, little Billy.
Like, but I feel like okay,
you're gonna sleep in today.
be productive. I feel like that's what our generation is more about. It's like okay, make your children productive. Don't
You can do that without yelling.
What's your definition of abuse?
Any physical or verbal, unnecessary physical or verbal.
So how can you deem a whooping unnecessary? What's
Actually,
unnecessary?
that is a good
one.
Actually, you having to put your hands on somebody is abuse. Like,
no,
technically, yes.
Like, okay, so,
and y'all are saying it's not because y'all are conditioned to think this way.
But okay, no. When you say something's unnecessary, isn't a kid acting out unnecessary too then?
It's a kid.
But acting out is unnecessary, right?
Sure, but like how are they supposed to know that?
That's
They
why
gotta
you
be
have to
taught.
learn.
No, you talk to your child.
Okay,
Your child
so
is
I
a
agree.
human
You can't
being.
go. So if you whoop them without explaining,
That
that's
is abuse.
Yeah, it's well. Let me put my social work cap
You
on. Okay.
physically putting your hand on somebody.
so. But if I don't physically touch you, but I demean you with words, is that
that's
not
still abuse.
That's still harm.
That's
But
abuse.
it's
That's two types of abuse: verbal and
Agreed.
physical.
Agreed. But okay, if I tell this child stop,
That could be.
that's not helping because the kids keep on doing what they're doing, right? Okay, but then if a mother says sit your blank tail down, that's a little bit that's a little too far, right?
If you have to
Cuss
abuse your
words.
kids, you like shouldn't have children. Like
So why is a whooping abuse though?
The only reason. Hold on. The reason why they.
You're saying harm, but I'm
It's
looking at it
physical harm.
as discipline. Discipline.
it is discipline.
It depends on how you're
You
whooping
hitting
your
your
child.
child is physical harm.
No,
Well, I
that's
know.
not.
No, if it is a way
You gotta
to
do it out of
discipline
love.
your child, like if you're
How can you hit somebody out of love? What? Do y'all hear yourself?
Disciplining, no.
I mean,
But now, hold on. If your ex-boyfriend who was abusive said the same thing, you say it was abuse.
Exactly.
Because that's more
but
like
that's abuse.
But
Is
that's
real.
what?
He was like, "Oh, I'm sorry, I did it because I."
my mom don't tell me.
I did it.
My mom ain't never tell me sorry for no
Either
whooping.
way it goes,
She explains
somebody
to me,
said you have to explain yourself after hitting.
Okay, no, it doesn't work like that because
differentiates abuse. I don't really.
no. Let me let you know. Okay.
Go ahead.
So abuse. If my man just hit me and he said, "Oh, I'm sorry," like, why did you hit me in the first place? What did I do to you that made you hit me?
Okay, he said
There's nothing he can say that can let me know that. But if I just stole something from the store and my daddy pulled out his belt, I'm sorry, yeah, you right, and he's gonna sit there and explain to me what I did wrong after I got my whooping. Because you know what? He told me this is what happens when this happens.
I'll tell
So
you
if your
this,
boyfriend said that he hit you because you cheated on him, would that still justify it? This nigga not finna. First, I'm gonna cheat on him. Secondly,
Just
he's not
hypothetically.
he's not gonna say.
Okay,
He's not
okay.
gonna because he didn't have a reason.
I got a
But
question.
if that was his reason, that means you're justifying it.
I got a question. So how are you, based on your definition of abuse and whatnot, how would you discipline your child?
First of all, the way I define abuse, it is something that mentally affects a person. Because I can just hit him and it not affect
That's
you mentally.
abuse. You better
Y'all don't think it,
But I know that
y'all don't think it has mentally affected y'all because y'all are conditioned to think that it's okay.
Conditioning is not bad still.
Conditioning isn't bad.
Because you need to know what is going to help you survive in life, right?
Right.
Conditioning
That is the whole point of conditioning.
Like when you go out,
For you
when
to
you
learn
play
something.
sports and everything, they call it
you
conditioning.
can tell your child what is right from wrong without hitting them. Like,
With some scenarios, but I can agree that like there were times where you just talking to me, my parents just talking to me, would not have been as effective if
As
it wasn't
whipping
attached
it
to a belt.
Exactly.
yeah.
I'm the opposite.
No,
My
I
mom
feel
hit
that.
me and I still be doing the same.
And it's situations like that too. Like,
So
I'm
Some of y'all parents.
So how did you grow up? How did you grow up?
I mean, I got whoopings and like occasionally.
So did you learn from it?
No.
You didn't learn. So you just
Tell about your childhood though. Like, were you a bad child? Did you go out and do? So you weren't bad. You followed
Really?
the instructions and everything.
But my mom still verbally abused me. Like,
So
get the fuck up, do this,
I'm saying I don't
clean your
think,
fucking room. Like,
So
Okay, so-
are you still hurt by that right now? Like,
Like,
do
would
you
you
need
want
to-
her to apologize and like?
I mean,
stuff like
sure,
that?
of course.
So
Where are we going with this?
because like my mama not cuss me out, call me out my name in a cuss word, but she'd be like, this like she never said like the S word or F word or B word.
Dang, y'all had some good mamas.
She was like,
Oh,
damn.
going in on me.
Right?
She'd be like, damn or ass, but that still that wasn't verbal abuse for me. Like bring your black ass here ain't no verbal abuse.
It's
for
not.
No.
Bring your black.
Because I'm black and I got an ass, so that's true. Both of those are true.
Right.
Hey.
I get what you're saying.
Now if it was.
I mean, I can see the
Time
way
to
you
play
say that it can
master,
turn
bring
into
your
abuse,
black ass
but
here.
laying your hand on a child doesn't automatically qualify as
It
an
is some
abuse.
limitations to how you lay your hand on a child. Like, I'm not saying, like, you can't go pick up this the little camera party and think you can beat your child and you're just conditioning your child. No, it doesn't work like that. Like, the state of Alabama has this, you have to use your hand to spank their bottom. No. I'm still going to have my belt in my paddle. And you're going to feel every inch of why I'm mad with you and why you ain't supposed to do what you did.
I got a good question about that because they used to do paddling in schools.
Mm-hmm.
So would you?
Well, not necessarily.
It's not even Catholic. Other schools too, because they did it. Because I used to go to an elementary school out here, and they did it out here, even in elementary.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, how do you guys feel about that? Like,
first of all, I don't
would you
think
approve of your teacher doing that to you?
No.
I don't think anybody that is not your parents or your grandparent, because I don't even believe your aunties or uncles. Anybody who is not your grandparent or your parent should not have the reason to should not put their hands on your child. Because first of all, that is how a lot of these child abuse cases get started. It gets started because my cousin decided she wanted to whoop my daughter. She left a mark, so now I'm finna go over here and cause.
I would whip my cousin's daughter in a heartbeat because she's bad. I tried to tell her to sit down a couple of times, and she did not listen to me.
Okay,
so I picked her up.
Stop her from
Yes, I picked her up and I threw her on the bed because she would not stop.
Hold on,
She stopped after that. She definitely stopped after that, though.
But
She
she
don't.
You probably scarred the girl.
I'm happy. She needs to be scared. She needs to respect boundaries.
This is a child we talking about.
She still needs to learn respect. She did not learn respect when I told her to stop. So she learned respect when I threw her down.
So it's an ongoing thing that they say in the black community. Kids.
I tried. Yes, it is respect. If I force you to respect me, it's still respect. Because you're a child, you need to learn your boundaries.
They say that black people have to grow up quicker than other people. Do you guys believe that, and why do y'all think? Do y'all think that it's necessary?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Because first of all, a lot of our parents and our ancestors' parenting skills, where it does come to us, being whooped like we are, is because of slavery time. First of all, back then, back then as slave kids, you could not live as freely as we do now. So the reason why they whoop us so harsh is so the master won't kill us, basically. Is that it's not real, to me, it's not conditioning, it's just fear. Like, okay, I have to beat my child so that my child would know that, hey, you can't go out here and do this in the real war because they will kill you and we're not giving back.
That's conditioning, essentially. That's what that is. You're conditioning your child to understand that this is the set of rules that you live by now because of society standards.
Mm-hmm. So it's just like passed down, and it's all because I'm trying to save my child's life. I'm trying to teach my child a lesson, or master just beat me, so I'm gonna go home and beat my child.
I definitely think black kids have to grow up quicker. Like as teenagers, how many of y'all had to get jobs?
Yep.
Yeah.
I
I didn't have a job when I was in high school, but I was very responsible.
It's just
And I was bad at the same time.
I don't think my mom ever cared. When I turned 16 and I had my first car, she was like, well, guess you gotta pay this on your own.
Yeah, it's stuff like you don't have to get a job or you can't stay here. Like so many black kids have to go through that and millions.
So
they can stay at home till they 25.
So do you feel like talking to your child would help getting them to grow up faster?
Not black kids. Not black kids. Black kids, you cannot talk to.
You feel like it is?
No. Average black
animals and stuff. Like you can't talk to black kids.
No.
You can.
The average black child. Okay. The average black child today.
Children.
In this generation, the ones that's up under us that are growing up, you cannot just sit down and talk to them because you can give all the lectures, all the speeches about, okay, don't go sell this weed, you're gonna go to jail. Guess what they're gonna do? They're gonna still do it because they gotta get that experience. My mama don't know what she's talking about. I get away with it. No, you're gonna have to put some type of physical punishment behind it so they understand. Okay, you want to go sell
protection, not physical punishment.
Okay, but the difference between a person of color and these white people, is that the white people, they'll get off real quick, real easy. Us people of color, life don't happen like that. So if you let them know using weapons and whatnot, like this is what you don't need to be doing, they're more likely to listen to that.
It depends on the child, I feel like.
Yeah, I feel like
It doesn't depend on
Use
the child. You're right.
physical harm to explain that this is how you're not supposed to live your life. Like
I
this
also
is
believe this.
right from wrong. Like why do you have to?
You don't have to put your hands on a child, but sometimes, if talking doesn't work time and time again, then you know what? You gonna resort to, it's time for a whooping. Like,
Maybe
No,
you should
I
question your
said, hold on.
communication
In certain
skills. then.
cases, those whoopings aren't helping the children anyway. What about the kids that have to go into the Beyond Scared Straight programs? I'm sure their parents gave them plenty of whoopings and.
But it's a way that
Your
you
program's stupid.
Y'all should be
Really?
questioning y'all communication skills.
Okay.
Like,
No, it's a way
Okay,
to.
I would really like for you to meet some of the children that are growing up under us, because you're sitting here talking about some communication.
it's like they got that way for a reason.
Okay, but
I think
communicating
you
with them is not going to help. You're going to have to physically.
It's a way to communicate because some people are just yelling at
Start
their children.
when they
Right,
are
that's-
young.
Yeah, listen,
communicating
I'm
with
kind
them.
of on your side though. So some kids are just getting yelled at without being talked to in a calm voice. So I agree with just strictly yelling at them is just going to agitate them even more to act out.
Right.
So when you're initially yelling at the child and then they not doing what you said and then you start whooping them, that's not helping them. So when I was growing up, my parents I knew they were serious even though they weren't yelling at me. So even if I went against what they said and then they whooped me after that, it was clear what they were trying to say and why they were telling me that.
Why weren't they clear before though? Like,
I was just hard-headed. So I wanna see if
It takes that time. Like it takes something serious for you to open your eyes. Like it's like, okay,
it takes the
oh,
village.
so you gonna whoop me now? So let me stop because I don't want to get
believe
whooped.
it was helping y'all because
Right.
it conditioned
No, it
me.
really did. It taught me like to be like really smart about my decisions. It's like
Right.
I used to
You're
sit there and force my
afraid.
signature on my. No, it wasn't that. It was because I didn't want to do certain things like on my homework. I wouldn't do my homework and I would forge my dad's signature, and that taught me like when they whooped me after they talked to me multiple times, I kept doing it. Once they finally whooped me, it taught me to really realize and sit there like, oh, I can go to jail for this, like
Okay, let me tell you this.
People's signatures, like.
I was like probably 4 years old, and my dad told me I couldn't have something at the store. And I was like, I will see. So I took it, and I ran out the store. And he, like, hit me then. But then I got to 3rd grade, and I was still stealing. Like, and I got really good at it. And
Damn.
yeah, so, like, at that point, my mom, once she caught me with whatever I had, she didn't want me. She took me up to the store, and I was almost sent to juvie because of that. So a whooping wasn't involved in that. I got whooped the first time. I still didn't learn, so I did it again. But then I saw that whooping would have saved a lot if I would just followed what they said.
Yeah.
I get you. Okay, so look, I got a question. So we're gonna put it into like a scenario. So say your child is talking back to the teacher in class, right? How do you go about solving that problem? We can go around the table. Like, what would you do to solve that problem? Your son
I'm
or
last
daughter
because I'm gonna be the social worker
is
at the school.
talking back to the teacher, and the teacher's told you.
Yeah,
This isn't the first time.
I'm not talking back.
Yeah.
Shut up! You not talking to me. You ain't my mama. I'm not finna do
I feel
that.
like my kid would do that, but
I mean, I feel like that could be for like a bunch of people. Like, of course, people's. Okay, of
that's just
course,
like
like
them
mothers.
from how they were raised. So like, in my opinion,
But what if they were raised by just being talked to the whole time?
I don't think
I don't know, because I feel like even though you're raised a certain way, I feel like your influences can do that too. Who
That's
you're
true.
around, who your children are around. So I feel like even though you dropped your kid at school, you don't know what they're doing at school unless the teacher tell you.
Yeah. Well, I know, like, for me, like, my little brother, he would ditch class and stuff, and I knew who he was hanging around with, and I told him, like, multiple times, he's not going to listen to me because I'm his older sister. So, like, I had to go infiltrate his little friend group, find this little cute girl that, he had a little crush on, and get him to understand, like, this is what's right from wrong. It didn't help. And now he's in military camp. So, talking to doesn't always help.
So like, would you talk to your child about talking back to the teacher?
I just feel like great communicators have great relationships with their children.
I have a great relationship with my mom, even though
I mean, I didn't say you didn't, but like, I don't know.
I don't think. But you're saying like a whooping will stop. It will. Like it confuses communication. Whoopings confuse communication, and they don't teach lessons.
That's what you.
I think what she's more saying is that the whooping itself actually does more harm than the help that you want it to do. Just because like you whoop a child does not only mean that like, okay, they'll stop doing that thing, but there also grows and festers a fear in them of you instead of
It's
like a
not
loving
respect, it's fear.
or respect. It's just a fear that, oh, if I do something, she gonna hurt me. You feel me? And that's what she's saying that whoopings do.
Yeah. I think
I mean, I agree with that.
But I mean, like,
But I also
I feel like it depends. It's a lot of variables that go into it. You feel me? I don't feel like it's one set
You
way
a
to
social
raise
worker,
a
you gonna whoop your kid?
child.
I am, because first of all, I'm a social work major, so I know each state laws when it comes to disciplining your children and what you can use. Now, in the state of Alabama, you can only use your hand, but in the state of Florida, you can legally use paddle. But it has to be a state-approved paddle, and you can still use a belt. But first of all, when the kids do like now the procedure is okay. Your child talk back to the teacher. Now let's say you got a little Sally sitting up in the front. She the teacher. She break down crying. First thing she gonna do is send your child out. And when you sitting up there having a parent-teacher conference, the quote-unquote school social worker / counselor is gonna be there and gonna say you're the problem. You're not disciplining your child at home. But then here you go. You're saying, oh, well, I have great communication skills. I'll talk to my child. We're going to talk tonight. And then they're going to look at you and be like, you know he's going to bring his ass back up here and do the same thing with your little talk. Now, they really going to look at you stupid when you say, oh, I got great communication skills. Because, first of all, they already think less of black children anyway, thinking they're just bad. They don't know any better. They already assume that the child come from a broken home anyways. So, I mean, no.
Can't control people's expectations.
I know that, but I'm saying, that's what I'm saying. It is always a way to prevent my child going to school talking crazy.
I think a lot of black parents are overly harsh on their children and expectations that it'll raise them to be stronger, but it sometimes does a little harms that they don't plan on fixing or seeing. You feel me? Like when I was growing up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So whoopings didn't do nothing to me, like literally. Like I really didn't care. I like to talk. Like I really would rather talk to you and you tell me why, and then I understand. You feel me? So I was that type of kid. So every time my mom would whoop me, I wouldn't talk to her for months on end. Like, just wouldn't talk to her until she was ready to like, let's talk about why, what happened, or you feel me, or I forget about it. But like, it's not like, I was the type of kid to where it's like, if you whoop me, I feel like it's disrespectful because it's like, you're not even gonna tell me what I did wrong or hear my side of the story, or there's no conversation in this. You're judge and juror and you're just gonna lock me up for no reason. So there's not a real relationship. This is like a dictatorship, and I'm a human being.
Yeah, I feel like that.
Exactly.
That should be communicated. Like, but I feel like you should still communicate that with your child. Like, if your child did something, tell them what they did.
Mm-hmm.
Well,
I'd
say, okay, me personally, I'm a whoop you first. I'm going to be honest with you.
Yeah.
I'm like, look, I'm gonna ask you why you did it. I want to hear your explanation. Then we're gonna go and get to the whoopings, and I'm gonna tell you what you did wrong and how you cannot do it anymore. Don't do it.
And then you know what's gonna happen. Like after you do it like
because
that,
I feel like you wouldn't get that. You wouldn't get
Why
that
not?
understanding.
Can I?
Why not?
Go ahead.
No. So, what's y'all like most memorable whooping?
Most memorable.
The one where I told my dad I'm too old for whoopings and I didn't get one. That was a proud moment in my lifetime.
I could tell y'all my most memorable whooping. Now this is funny. It is real funny because I was 16 at the time, and as y'all know, I have 2 older brothers. Well, 3. Actually, I have 3 older brothers, but I have 2 of them that are Omegas, and one of them had already came out by the time I was still in high school because he's the oldest of all of us. And so my mom took us to his probate, blah, 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 but she left us because I got smart and rolled with my sisters because we were supposed to go directly home. But y'all already know what happened. We ended up going to the Q party. And y'all, when we came back at 3 o'clock in the morning, when I said all 5 of us got whooping that night, all 5 of us got whooping that night. Because first of all, I was the youngest there. First of all, she whooped them because she told us, I'm whooping y'all because y'all took y'all baby sister to a Omega party and she's only 16. If any of them would have, neck roll, pick me up, if anything would have happened, that would have been sexual harassment and then it would have been statutory rape. And that would have looked bad on my brother. Then when she got to me, she knew it was my idea to go to the party because I am conniving. I'm going to be honest, I could talk my way out of a D in the class. And just like I talked to them, I was like, y'all, let's go to this party. Mama not gonna find out. She gonna be cool with it. So
Your older sister doing for listening to you.
they was mad as hell with me. They didn't talk to me for like 3 days. But I still do the same thing. But you know.
Okay, so I've had we've had whoopings when we were in the we were
Almost memorable.
so like at night, me and my sister brother, we would like stay in one room, even though we had like our own bed or whatever. We would just stay up and just talk during the night. And so one time, my mom would come in, quit talking, y'all need to go to bed, da da da, and we just keep on talking. And she came in there. My dad told us to stand up, lock our knees, and hold our ankles, and then that was a whooping. But now looking back, they're funny because they're like they build connection between.
They really do.
They build connections, and like if you sit down with your friends and like lunch and everything, and y'all start talking about whoopings, y'all laughing about it now.
was abused too. You know what? You ain't even right, bro.
Like I laugh about them. I like talking about the whoopings now.
I do too, cause even though I would say we got harsh punishment, but I mean, look, if I didn't get my ass whooped like I did, I would not be here.
I disagree. My most memorable ass whoopings were like horrible, bro. Like my mom like beat me one time after I got suspended from school and I couldn't see out my right eye for 4 days, legitimately.
Okay, now that was
Yeah,
that's
not
childish.
memorable.
I'm sorry.
And father, I spent a little time with. I don't even remember. I got suspended for something, right? He had me lay down on the floor without a shirt, on my stomach, with my arms out, like you can Jesus on the cross. And he had a special belt. And, you know. And I had like scars all shit down my back for like 3 months.
Nah, those.
So like whipping, I feel like it's easy to get power hungry with it and take out and stray away from the discipline and more toward on the anger that you have in
And
your
it's
heart.
really a power. It comes from a power trip because y'all think that children shouldn't have agency just because they're children, but like they're human beings. Like,
So would y'all beat y'all kids?
no.
Yes.
You couldn't
I
do
would
that.
whip my kids.
Go around. I'm not beating my kid. I wasn't beat. I'm fine. Stacy.
I would if it was an extreme case, like it needed to happen.
Okay, when you say beat, that's like a whole nother.
I
level.
would,
we're gonna
I
say,
would discipline
are you
my
gonna
child.
physically
Whooping.
Discipline your child with a belt or with
A switch? Yeah, they get a switch. I got a switch.
No,
How-
switches, no. And it's
Like, how can you say this about your unborn child? This is a problem.
Okay, I've already told you. I know how I
I
would.
agree with
No.
you, bro. I agree with you.
Like,
Let me.
y'all are saying this about y'all unborn children. Like, y'all putting discipline on them and they ain't even here. Like,
Okay.
But you're. I know how I was as a child. So if my kids are like me, they gonna need whooping.
But why would
Yeah.
you revert back? Like, do you feel like we're reverting back to like slave times? Like
That ain't reverting back because back in Africa, before white people came, there was whoopings too.
Okay, but
Bad
like,
parents then.
okay, but it's
I'll
like
get it.
18. Like,
Okay, and
by
they
the time we have kids, it's probably like what, like probably 7 to 10 years out. Like, come on.
so that don't mean kids change. Kids are still the same no matter.
Kids are getting worse. They're getting worse.
No, I won't even say that. I think society is changing, but that don't mean children change being
Yeah, children the
kids.
same.
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's say the same. I personally, I've dealt with kids where I couldn't yell at them. I had to sit and talk to them. I have dealt with kids like that, and it worked maybe 1 out of the 5 times I've ever had to do it. That's a lot, actually. 1 out of 5. That's kind of a lot. But a lot of kids, they do respond a little bit better to harsher tones. I will admit that.
I think it all depending on the shit.
We're trying to instill fear and
I'm trying to let them know if they
But it
don't
sound like-
we gonna fight.
It
That's
sound-
what I'm letting them know.
I would never fight my
I
child. Never.
Who? If my child, let me tell y'all
Because
now.
my child would never raise their hand.
If my child ever square up at me, or if I'm trying to discipline my child and they draw a hand out, I'm gonna forget you're a child and I'm gonna fight you like an adult.
No.
they acting out of resentment. Like, would you be surprised?
So is there a difference?
Tired of you putting your
Is
hands
there
on
a
them.
difference between whooping fighting a child,
You are not
fighting
wrong.
a child.
What?
Yes.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like
But y'all fighting a child.
Yeah. Oh, my
If you wouldn't whoop a child, would you fight your child?
I remember that meme where
What they do, they try to pull a hand on me. Okay, say this little boy, he's 10 years old. He's
No, I'm talking about your child.
Yeah, it's my child. He's 10 years old, and he decides he want to pop back. Boy, okay, what if you're
What if you're beating your child and they like stop
Get
you?
tired of that
from
shit.
Like they like put their hands up to stop you.
If my child is in see, this is where you have to be in control and you're going to always be the adult. Because first of all, if my child does swing at me, I'm going to draw back.
Not swing, like say you swinging at your kid and the kid catch the punch, like you're not gonna hit me. Like I'm not gonna hit you.
My kid not gonna catch that punch.
No, because right then and there, that's when you have to intervene, and I'm gonna have to let you know, like, look, at the end of the day, I'm still your mama. Now, I brought you in this world. Look, and I brought you in this world, and I'm gonna take you out. Okay,
That does not give you the right to kill.
How did y'all parent ever say like, I love y'all, but this hurts me more than it hurts y'all?
Yeah, I'm always never lie to you like that.
My mom and they,
He would never.
or they be like, I love you. I be like, man, what's wrong with you? But, because that's in that moment I feel pain. And like, how can you feel pain and love at the same time? They felt it. And I had to learn how to feel it.
This is so twisted.
This brings abusers
Would y'all
and victims of abuse.
whoop your kids?
I would, honestly, I would. Because I feel like, I don't know, because I feel like with my relationship with my mom, it's kind of like different now. Because when I got whooped, she would be mad, and then after the fact, she was like, okay, she would sit down and talk to me and be like, okay, well, this is what you did wrong. I'm just trying to show you the right thing to do. You know, like, don't do this because you can end up here, or you can end up here. Like with my mom, she necessarily didn't have to really whoop me as much, because like she would give me like scenarios of like, oh, well, you can go to jail if you do this, this, and that. And I'd be like, I think of jail, like, oh, hold on, I'm not trying to go there. So it was like, after I got whoopings, that's when I'll be like, okay, look, let me get right. Let me do what I'm supposed to do. Obviously, because I don't want to get a whooping, but at the same time, it's like, I don't want to be wherever, my mom told me I could end up.
Do you think that's abuse? Like if they tell you, oh, you're going to end up here. You think that's abuse?
That is not abuse.
I'm gonna give my time of discipline. My child, I'll give my child a whole PowerPoint.
That's instilling fear though. Like, is it not? Because you telling your child that you may end up in jail. No, that's still fear, is it not?
That is still fear.
What she's saying is that if you're gonna abuse your child in any form of way, you should look down upon one way. So just because it's not physical abuse, if you're abusing them mentally or if you're instilling fear in them the same way, then why can't you just instill fear in them while whooping them?
Because first,
how is that instilling fear though?
Because you're gonna go to jail. You're scared of going to jail.
The consequences.
If you rob a store, you gonna go to jail.
That's fact.
But it's still fear. It is fear.
Okay,
I'm scared to go to jail. I'm afraid. That's fear. Is it not
a fact though? Is it?
But it's still fear.
It's a fact.
But
It's still fear.
Okay, have you seen the Boondocks where the lawyer, he was scared to like steal, do anything illegal because he was gonna go to jail and be anally raped? Okay.
Yeah, what do you know that?
That's what his parents told him.
I'm not gonna say that, but like.
But that's not putting your hands on them.
But it's a different form of discipline. I think it might be a little soft.
It's educational, like.
Okay, me whooping you was educational too.
No,
You're learning not to do something educational.
Okay, but would you be open to different parenting styles?
I'm not what y'all
I'm not open to baby parenting styles.
Can I say, like, y'all are saying whoopings without, y'all are describing whoopings like you're not explaining why the child is getting
That don't
whooped.
matter.
It don't matter.
It does matter.
It doesn't.
It does matter. It is very much. It does matter because my parents always explained to me
Like,
why
you got the whooping.
it wasn't just I want to hit you. Like
if your husband beating on you and at the end you say, okay, this is why I beat you. It's okay.
Okay, I feel like that's a different. That's just because this is my child. This child came from me. I don't own this man.
Right.
I don't own my child, but at the same time,
You don't own exactly. That's damn. You do not own your
my
child.
child is under my roof.
you gotta look out for the well-being of
Your
that child.
child is a person with his own, his or her own
I'm grown.
agency. You do
I'm
not
grown.
own them.
Okay, so if your child tells you,
Cortland.
Oh my God.
When your child end up running over your ass,
It's not gonna happen.
I want you to remember this discussion.
It's not gonna happen.
And your power.
My child's gonna respect me, and we're gonna have a wonderful relationship.
What if-
And that's not based off of fear.
But what if that's
how
only
I
how to deal with this getting with
Listen, my mom
Becky
was like,
said the same thing. Now look how their kids treat them. All you have to do is talk to your children, and you have to be patient with them, and you have to talk like
Jody,
Now look at that damn.
let Jody say something.
I want to hear what
Jody.
What I was thinking of was, I feel like at the root of it, you should know your child,
Yeah.
know yourself, right? So what that means is like know what works best with your child. You feel me? If your child needs talking more, or like what do they need?
I feel like it depends on the child.
You should figure out why they're doing something rather than how to correct it first, because you don't know how to correct it if you don't know why they're doing it. So if it leads back to a reason to, you feel me, to the deep, go back to the root and try and fix the foundation. Because if you build a strong foundation, when they grow up, they won't have to worry about all those other things. But if you just continuously whoop or verbal abuse, any type of abuse of power over them, it'll create more problems for them in the future that they will have to solve out themselves, and they won't even know where to start necessarily because you don't remember all the things that go on in your childhood.
Your relationship with your child should be about protection, not.
I still feel protected. When
I still- yeah.
I felt very protected. Like I knew when I was coming home, it wasn't going to be no lights, no food, no shelter. I knew there wasn't really there wasn't screaming in my house. Like be it that my sister and brother, we argued. But my mom and my dad, what I saw between them was love. That was never no screaming or it was all protection.
It's different for different people.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So don't look down on how a parent decides to raise their child with whoopings versus you talking.
I am.
Yeah.
Wait, so
It's easy.
would you, Jody, because you said your parents would talk to you. Do you think it would have been different if your parents would have talked to you, asked you why you did what you did, and then gave you that whooping?
If my parents, no, the thing is that like, do not put your hand. I just hate like somebody forcing me to do anything, whether it's like physical. If you like tell me to like clean up, I just hate it. Let me do something on my own fruition, because if I feel like if I don't do it on my own fruition, then it's not genuine. And it's
You
not
one of
real.
them kids.
These are the type of children.
So it's like,
No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
so it's like
You stubborn.
I would have much rather you talk to me, because now since you beat me, it's like I can handle a whooping. If all you're gonna do is beat me and then try and talk to me afterwards, the fact, nah, you already beat me. That's my punishment. I don't want to hear what you got to say now. I'm gonna go run the streets now because all I got coming back is a whooping. And that's it.
Okay, so I got a question like you said. So you said that, so say your mom or dad told you to go clean your room. You was like, nah, I want to clean my room. Like you just said. Like what you said?
If my mom told me to clean my room, I clean my room because it's little stuff. But I'm talking about like if she would have whooped me first before telling me like, go clean your room, it's so dirty, I would not gonna, you're wild, I'll clean it up for a little bit. And then I wouldn't talk to her for like 6 months and do whatever I was doing. Or I'd go over my cousin's house and my grandparents' house and all that. I just stay away from her as much as I could.
Okay.
So I just don't, because you know me.
Okay.
I've told you many times.
So I got another question. So say your child is small, and you know how kids love to do stuff. Basically they try everything. So say they put something in their mouth, or they want to go touch the stove or something.
Yeah.
You tell them, don't touch the stove. It's gonna burn you. Don't touch it. You steady telling them.
Yeah.
So it's like even the smallest thing, you hit them on the head. Hey, don't touch that. Would you do something like that?
Oh, you asking CJ?
Yeah. Would you do that?
You mad?
Huh?
You mad?
Oh no, I was zoned out. I'm not.
He said, would you smack your child hand?
Like a 2-year-old
Touch the
child.
stove or something. Would you like? Okay, hey, don't do that because it's
Or
hot.
that'd be
You can burn
I'm not
yourself.
putting my hands on my children.
So no.
So how would you react to that? Little Johnny, please do not put your hand on them.
And they just kept going for it. Like, you
I'm
just
saying,
bring it home.
if it was my kid,
Yeah.
and my kid put his hand on the stove, and I'm like, hey, yo, you're going to burn yourself if you keep doing that.
And
And
you just
he
let
keep
him do
doing
it. I
it.
already know.
He going to burn that motherfucker, and he'll never do it again. I told you.
Okay, but guess if my parents would have laughed at me, that would have hurt my feelings way more than
I'm going to come for him first, and I'm going to definitely laugh. That's how life is.
told you not to do it, and you did it.
And that would have hurt me way. I'm telling you, as a child, yeah, that would have hurt me more than a whooping.
You would understand.
I would understand the whooping because that's my form of communication with my parents.
That's sad. That's not okay.
That's your judgment, is it? Okay. I got two things I wanted to say. The Bible says, if you believe in Christ, I don't really care.
Yeah, I was just looking at that too.
If you spoil the child, spell the rod, right?
Yep.
Do you believe in that? What's a rod?
God gave me permission to whoop my child, so I'm gonna whoop my child. Sorry. God gave me the permission to be black. God gave me the permission
I do believe
to
in
sin.
balance, though.
So
Balance.
I do believe in balance because everything got to be balanced, right? So you can't be too easy or too harsh on your child. You know, it has to be a happy middle. Your child, I feel like your child should always feel like they can come to you and talk to you, and that there's love. If nothing else, there's love, unconditional.
Black
You feel
people
me?
legit be scared
But-
to go and talk to their parents about everything.
I'm not scared. They talk about my mom.
Because I feel like even when I had that conversation with my mom about like why she whooped me, I mean, it was still like, she was like, okay, you can always, come to me and tell me what's going on, what you want. Why did you have to take something out the store? All you gotta do is ask me. If it's something you don't need, of course I'm gonna tell you, no, you don't need it. What you need it for? But it's like, if it's something that you feel like you need, or it's something that you need to talk to your parents about, I feel like whoopings don't stop that. I feel like, especially if they're talking to you after they give you whooping, or if they're trying to explain to you, okay, what happened, or why did you do this, and then gave you the whooping, I feel like it's still gonna be a good kind of communication between you.
I don't necessarily believe that because it's like you instilling the fear before you instill the communication and love. Regardless of, if as a child, I feel like as a child, right? If somebody talks to you and then somebody comes back 5 minutes later and beats you up, or if somebody beats you up first and then comes back later and talks to you, the physical harm is gonna stick with you more than the talk.
My parents, but like,
trying to talk to me.
if you fall and scrape your knee, that's okay. You gonna heal, right? So your parents are never, my parents never hit me to the point where it's trauma, either mentally or physically. I'm still healing from both of those. I'm healing physically because my mom and
Why
dad.
do you have? I do not see a problem with that. That you have to heal.
But everybody needs healing.
That is true in some important way.
No.
But
That's wild,
life
man.
don't break.
I mean, right?
This is wild. No.
What?
Like, everybody needs healing.
But they do. Like, you go through life and you're gonna learn whether it be
Some form of way you can hurt through life. You can't get through life without a skirt. No, not one person. So you're gonna have to.
because you're gonna be
I mean,
bled at the end of the day. If you don't have to,
Why do you have to heal from abuse? Like,
if I'm your child and you're trying to talk to me through it all, I'm still hurt. No matter what. If you tell me, oh, you're doing wrong, you're disappointed in me, my feelings are still hurt. I'm gonna still need to heal from that. I'm gonna still need to heal from your disappointment.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's on you though.
I mean, okay.
But I'm not judging you on not whooping your child or you being against whooping.
A little bit.
I'm not.
Y'all both judging each other a little bit. I ain't gonna lie.
I'm more accepting than what she is of me.
It's abuse.
I don't know. I feel like if my mama would have just sat there and talked to me, I wouldn't listen to her.
I wouldn't either.
I feel like I wouldn't have. Like
Actually,
regardless.
I
I mean,
feel
you
like
can
it's
why?
Why? I mean,
It's
because
as
it's
a
like,
child.
because it's like, okay, you're telling me this, I understand it, I hear it. Because sometimes with children, it goes in one ear and out the other. Okay, so it's like, you
Because
telling
they're
me
a
all the
child.
time.
They're not a grown up. They don't have to cut them.
Exactly. So if
Brain development.
right, that's
That's like,
how you gonna
that's
tell
common
your child, okay, look, don't do if you're explaining everything to that child and you just said that they don't have that common sense, how you gonna continue to tell them that same
It develops
over time.
But
And if you
they're not
talk to
gonna
your
really
child,
understand the severity of the issue until something bad happens to them. I'm not gonna
Not
wait until
necessarily.
something bad happens to my
not
kid.
necessarily. You can't.
A
You
lot of
can't.
the time, though.
You can't predict any bad events. You cannot.
You are supposed to expect the bad things from.
The bad shit is gonna happen, right? So you shouldn't overestimate like, oh, I should build this because the storm's gonna come. I should build this. You should set your foundation.
Yeah.
But you still gotta prepare for the worst
I feel
though.
like that woman is really just trying to make it.
hit you. Like,
I feel like it's trying to make you learn faster.
I would beat
It's
you.
trying to get you. Okay, look, open your eyes. I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you learn. Like, okay, yeah.
But whose fault is that? That's not the black parents' fault that they have to grow up faster. That is no way.
They
No.
aiding it a little bit.
Hold on. I'm sorry. I'm not on your side with that one. Because you got some parents out here that instead of them parenting, they're focused on being their child best friend.
Okay.
So because they're their child best friend, let's say their mom, the woman that birthed them, is not a great.
No, I'm not thinking about police brutality. I'm thinking about history, blacks in America. The history
But
behind
okay,
it.
their
Okay,
point
but
of view is
because you
like
don't want
having
your
them.
child that
Okay,
you
you gotta
become your
work
child's
too.
best
I need
friend.
you to grow up fast so you can pay some of this rent. I feel like that's where they're coming from.
I'm not
You
saying
know,
because you don't want
I'm
your
thinking
child
about,
to try to
like-
be your child's best friend. I'm saying if you don't have any type of discipline,
No, sure.
like any type of discipline technique where it's actually working for your child and you're seeing major improvements from your child, then yes, I feel like your parenting skills suck ass and you're your child's best friend, because that lets me know if you can tell your child to stop, they keep doing it and you're just gonna keep, okay, I need you to stop, and instead of you not wanting to hit your child just looking at you like, what you gonna do about it? That child is gonna continue to chastise you until you make them believe you, not necessarily fear you, but believe that you mean business and this is why you don't need to.
I would admittedly say that there were times when I was doing wrong that I feared my parents because I knew that discipline was coming one way or the other.
Because you knew you weren't supposed to be doing that thing you were supposed
Exactly.
to do.
That's when I feared my parents. Now, not necessarily feared the whooping because it wasn't always in the form of a whooping. So, like,
Did you have strict parents?
I had.
I did.
Now, what's your definition of strict?
Yeah, what's your
Because
definition of strict? That's a good question. What's your definition of
Like
strict?
strict parents, they want you to be like obedient. You know what I mean? Like and do what they say.
I don't think that.
I mean,
I mean, yeah,
that's
they
not
did
really
do
strict,
that.
though.
They
Everything
did.
you do is disrespectful.
Exactly.
Anything you try to communicate with them, you stop
Dis-
being disrespectful.
Exactly. If,
No,
if you
my-
question anything that they say, is disrespectful.
Disrespect.
No.
Like, you can't go do. You can't
Now,
do
if you-
that or hang out
it's
with
a certain-
Lil
It's a certain way to ask and question your parents, and I still have that belief because,
Yeah.
like, even when you grow up, there's still a way to approach people.
Yeah.
Right. I feel that.
That's ironic, but
What's ironic?
it's still a way to approach people.
There is. Like, I'm not gonna come to you, hey, B. Like, and I don't know you.
Being on your kids, like, way to approach children, you know, without abuse.
Okay, first off,
It is.
she said that she was just gonna straight up beat her child before she explains anything to
Right.
them.
That's
She's like,
Wait, okay,
what
what
the heck does that?
because now, like, my mom growing up, she says, like, and I truly believe that she was, her form of whoopings that she got from her mom was more along the lines of abuse than what we got.
I feel that.
But I don't think that cycle never continued because I don't look at my mom like the abuser. And still, she don't look at her mom like an abuser.
Right.
It
Right.
did continue because she loved you.
Okay, and I'm gonna hit my child. That ain't like abuse continuing. Like that's
not.
okay. It's a cycle of parenting. I'm gonna have a child just like she had a child. So is she not continuing that cycle? She could start that cycle by having me.
cycle of abuse. You said
There's so many cycles in the world. Like, oh my god.
abuse my kids. Like,
So what do you do if your child continues to do the same
So
thing?
crazy.
Why
How
are
do
they
you
doing
fix
that?
Because they're children and they want to be curious.
I mean, but yeah, I mean, obviously you're gonna try something. You're gonna do. If somebody tells you one time, don't do it. And obviously, sometimes, most of the time, kids don't listen to just that one time. Kids usually, okay, I'm gonna try it again and see.
Mm-hmm. They're gonna try to do it a different way.
That's how they are. They want to experiment. They want to see. Oh, let me do this. Let me do that. Okay, yeah, she told me not to do it, but I'm gonna still do it anyway. How do you get that to that child without abusing them, or like what do you do? What is it that you got to keep doing?
Balance.
Johnny.
You cannot expect a child to learn something on the first go
Right.
because they're a child, right?
Right.
Mm-hmm.
And understanding what a child is, they want to do that they're not supposed to do. So, me as a parent, right, this is me, 20 years old, I don't even like kids. So I might change my opinion later in life. You know? That's why I didn't say anything about how I'm gonna raise my child or whatnot, because like I don't know. That's a whole different feeling. But like I feel like it's like a touch and go thing. You go by it's a base to base basis, and then it's like I feel like you can't really teach a child life lessons. I feel like they have to go out in the world and discover those on their own.
Mm-hmm.
And the best that you can do as a parent is just make sure that they come home safe enough.
Right.
Because like every time they walk out their door, I feel like you can't. In school, kids grow up way more than they do at home because school has all of your communication, all of your life experiences as a kid. If you don't go outside on the block or whatnot, and so it's like my school and my community gonna raise my kid just as much as I am. The best that I can do is be a vessel,
guidance tool,
but also a vessel because life is going. At least for me growing up, life hit me way harder, right? And if I would have had somebody to talk to throughout it, I would have felt more comfortable. You feel me in my predicament. But since I was put in a position where you feel me, at least I felt like fear was trying to be put into me. I don't like that because I don't fear anybody. I wasn't raised to fear anybody. So you feel me? It's like I don't. There's a sort of disconnect between the people that I grew up with. That's why I feel like every child is different because every situation and environment and who you are is different. Because if you raise a child in the suburbs versus in the urban city, they're gonna come out two different ways, and based on that child and their parents and what they're around. You feel me? So I feel like as a parent, you should your main goal is to make sure that your child knows love and that you communicate with them. As far as all the life lessons and whatnot, they're gonna learn life on their own. Of course, like everybody, ain't no set way to raise a child, so I can't tell nobody what the right way is because I don't know myself. You feel me? And everything. I truly feel like
as abuse isn't in the equation, like
it's balance and all that.
You're categorizing whoopings in its entirety as abuse, and that's my issue.
So, okay, question: did everybody in here get whooped as a child? I know you said you didn't. Did you guys? Yeah. Mm-hmm. So you guys, do you feel like this abuse? It was abuse.
I mean, I only got whooped like one time, and I didn't like it, so.
Did you learn from that whooping? Did you learn from the whooping?
Yeah, I learned not to do nothing bad because my mom was gonna whoop me.
Okay, so you feared your parent. You feared that whooping, or you were like, okay, let me not do this because I know the consequence of me doing this is gonna be a whooping.
Yeah, I guess it was the second one. Like, I knew if I did something bad, I knew my mom was gonna whoop me. Like, I wasn't necessarily afraid of my mom, though.
Okay. Nari?
You feel like it was abuse?
Right, that's all I'm saying.
I got to insert though.
But
also.
no, I mean after a certain point when she realized it wasn't really affecting me, she stopped. You know what I'm saying? I think it was more effective when I went into the prison with her. You know, when she was at work and I saw the inmates. You know what I'm saying, locked up. That was more effective to me.
So it's like you saw a consequence.
Exactly. I just think that there was. My mom was a correctional officer, by the way. She was just taking me into the prison. But I just feel like there are definitely more effective ways of disciplining your child than just spanking and whipping.
Yeah, so I feel like it depends on
the also, I just want to say this. I don't know you guys' relationships with your parents, but if you guys didn't have those whoopings, would you guys have a more open relationship with your parents? Like, would you feel more comfortable talking with your parents?
I feel like if I didn't have whoopings, I would be in a much worse position in life.
I feel like I wouldn't.
You don't know. Yes, I do. I feel like you ask me how I feel. I don't know.
I feel that because I feel like I wouldn't understand as much as I do. Like now, like okay, from then at that time, yeah, of course, I'm not gonna think nothing of it because it was like, okay, yeah, I got whoopings for something that I did bad. But now it's like I'm thankful because she saved me from doing something that could have been. Like a lot of work.
And I told y'all that
you're not fine.
Jody was trying to insert something.
Okay,
I'm gonna tie it into both. You feel me? Answer your question and my answer. I feel like if I didn't get whoopings as a child, I'd be like, you feel me? I wouldn't have had to went through a bunch of stuff because I got whoopings. You feel me? I'm like, and I think that most children do. Like they start getting smarter about the way of what they do, and they start hiding stuff. And so I did a lot of stuff that my mama still doesn't know to this day, because I knew, oh, she gonna trip. She ain't gonna understand. She gonna trip. So I'm gonna go out and do what I do, and then I'm gonna clean it up. You feel me? I'm smart enough to where I can clean it up, and still she won't know. And so I feel like if I didn't get whoopings, I would never have to clean myself up because there would be a trust within my mom that I would be able to
She
provide.
ain't gonna understand.
But I mean, that might not.
Okay.
That might not.
different, though.
That's also not true either, because just because you don't whoop your child doesn't mean that you can be emotionally there for your child.
Right.
Yeah.
It's a different set of skills. They're not directly correlated.
So do you feel like if your mother wouldn't have told you not to do the okay, I'm sorry. 'Cause you said when they gave you whoopings, they didn't really explain.
They explained
They
it
explained.
afterwards,
Right. Okay.
but you already have placed your hands on me. Which
So it's like everything that you're talking about, I'm not hearing it right now.
I hear it and I know that it's true, but I know that you've still done wrong to me. So I feel like I don't have to uphold a certain code of honor because you haven't upheld that honor to me. You didn't make sure that you didn't try to talk to me first. So why would I try and talk to you when I'm out to do something that I know you don't agree with anyway? There's no point. You just gonna get mad at me and we gonna have to whoop it. That whole you gonna try and control me more. I'm not meant to be controlled. I'm meant to live life.
So if she would have told you instead of whooping you, would that have changed?
It's not telling me, it's talking to me.
Okay, yeah,
A conversation.
So
If we would have had a conversation, bro, a lot of the stuff I did, I wouldn't have done if I was able to have a conversation. I feel like that's just me. And I know that in this room, at least, I'm an outlier in terms of like whoopings and it not going so great or me wishing that I didn't have them. But that's just how I feel, you feel me? I feel like if I would have had a conversation, a bunch of the stuff that I did growing up, especially as a kid, I wouldn't have.
It's very.
Now,
I feel like I do both. That's like me, honestly.
But I grew up in the city, an urban like area and whatnot. So I feel like I know my mom was just being harder on me because of where I was growing up, and I had to be extra careful. I had to grow up earlier, you feel me?
Yeah,
But I still, you feel me?
I mean, me personally, I resent my dad, not because I got whoopings, not even close to because I got whoopings, but because of like family secrets that I now know. And like, I'm not close to him because he never wanted to express any interest in my life. I was always free. Like, I got my car, I was out, never home. I left home 7:30 every day to get to school, didn't come home till 9 o'clock at night because I was out living my life. Like, I wasn't doing nothing bad per se. Well, I mean sometimes, but it wasn't like that. Like, I just like, I didn't have that bond with anybody in my family. I didn't have anybody to talk to, so I talked to my friends. That's how that worked. Like, I got whoopings. That's just because like I was. I'm not gonna blame the discipline that I got that did actually teach me valuable core values.
y'all are only picking up on like 2 words out of 50.
Yeah.
I don't think you said.
I don't think you were because the whoopings that I got, they taught me right from wrong.
Okay.
Who I am today.
So,
Women made you the woman you are today.
Yes, because it taught me to learn. It taught me like, you know, the first time when I stopped getting whoopings, you know what I did? I went and I stole something. I got caught, and I saw my dad cry. That taught me some shit too. Like, it's just little things like that that teach you different like.
She's showing that there's different ways to. There are different ways to discipline a child.
that's an excellent point on, you feel me, parenthood in this whole conversation as a whole. There's no set way, you feel me, to raise a child. Everybody's different. Every child is different. Every environment is different. And every person in that they come from is different.
So never judge anybody.
Never judge anyone on how they were raised, you feel me? And in terms of like raising a kid right now, you feel me? I can't tell you how to do that. I'm barely raising this puppy I got, man. It's hard.
Y'all almost committed suicide.
Jump from like the 3rd flight of this apartment complex, bro. It's scary. But like, you know, I just feel like you should make sure there's love and communication there because that surpasses everybody, you know.
So I feel like it has a lot to do with. Sometimes you have to let them learn from experiences too.
Yeah.
So it's like sometimes you can't protect them from everything, but I feel like what you can't what you feel like you can't protect them from, you should try, but you can't obviously just protect them from everything.
And try to be more open with y'all children. Like, yes, I'm a firm believer on physical punishment for a child because some children need it. But would you leave me alone?
I just need to say this. Every time that my mom hit me, I kind of shut down. Didn't want to talk to her. That kind of affected me, how I am personally.
But did she set that boundary for you to come talk to her, though?
Who wants to talk to
I want to talk to you.
Like, when I got whooped, after I got whooped and my mom Okay, so there was like a whole session in between where I screamed and stuff, and just a hot mess. Okay, but afterwards, she sat me down and I legit talked to her, and I told her why I did something, how did I feel. Like I threw a brick in my neighbor's house. I got whooped. Afterwards, I washed dishes with my mom, and I told her why I did it. So that was communication.
Why'd you do it?
Because I was bad. Like, that's the whole point. I was bad.
I got a quick question. Because I just thought of it, and I feel like it's kind of important on how like you raising kids. A lot of people raise kids and instill like a lot of prejudices in them, and a lot of people grow up with those prejudices, and they won't even like necessarily know. They just, you feel me? It's just a thing. You feel me? So like when I was growing up,
other people.
yeah, other people based on whatever. You feel me? So like when I was growing up, the neighborhood I was growing up with, everybody was just like you would clown on gay people, just because. You feel me? And it just wasn't looked like light upon. And then as I grew up and shit, everybody, you feel me, as the times have changed or whatever.
Because I'm heavily educated now, and in the process of being, more educated, I feel like when it comes to raising my child, I'm going to teach my child to love each and everybody, but I'm also going to explain to my child, okay, we are African American, we have been oppressed by the majority. My child probably ask me what is the majority, and I'm gonna simply break it down, because now everybody now don't want my child to marry outside of his race, whatever. I'm trying to work on, what my personal issues of why I don't want my child to marry out of the race.
Make sure you don't.
But anywho, I just feel like when you get open with your child and you set that boundary for y'all to talk, okay, you physically punish your child, okay, they're gonna understand, okay, my mom has told me about this, we have talked about it, but I still went out here and did this. Now the child feelings gonna be hurt, but then another thing is some people fail to realize kids do not have excellent communication skills. I'm pretty sure when your mom whooped you, Nari, you didn't have fluent communication skills yet. Like, you didn't know how to communicate and cope with her. Like, cause all kids, include me, they feel like when they get beat, their whole heart's broke. Their pride gone. They feel like their parents don't love them. That's why, like he said, and like everybody else said, you need to have communication with your kids.
Yeah.
So
I feel like we like at that age we didn't understand. Okay, I feel like we understood why we're getting whooping, because I did something wrong, but I feel like we didn't get that understanding of, okay.
I think that's the difference. The thought that I did something wrong.
yeah.
Because whenever I got whipped, I was like, I'm right, bro. I'm right.
And then you probably are doing wrong too.
But that's all about communicating with your kid and letting them know that they did do wrong.
Right.
And
I'm trying to help you. I'm trying to help you understand what you did wrong and explaining how you did it wrong.
But I'm saying, I feel like most of the time it's just a parent beating their kid and they're trying to explain what they believe. Like, all right, so when I went to school, right, this whole few years, my school had like a policy on hair, right? I had to like, it had to be a low fade.
Oh yeah, you told us about this before.
Yeah, but I kept my hair the same way, you feel me? But my mother wasn't on my side. But I felt like I was right, because my hair has nothing to do with my academic ability. So for you to just hop on the other side and not be.
So did you have that communication with your mother?
She didn't want to hear it.
See, and that's the difference, though. I feel like that's the difference.
No, I feel like we talked or whatever, but she wasn't like, it wasn't no like.
She didn't want to hear your
It wasn't a conversation. It was like, she's explaining to me why I need to do what she wants me to do.
Yeah.
Okay,
and that's it.
Without hearing your side. Now that's where communication skills.
Most disciplining is, you feel me? You'll whoop them and be like, don't steal, because if you steal, you're going to go to jail later in life, blah, blah, or whatever you feel.
But, okay, so you take the whooping out and you be like, the child stole, they get back home. And then you tell them you're going to go to jail. Is that still not like...
No, I'm saying like if your child like talk back to the teacher or whatever, instead of just understanding and going to the teacher and them explaining their side, and then you taking your child home and beating them and telling them that's wrong, not to talk back to the teacher, you should ask your child, like, why did you talk back to the teacher? And if they say some shit like, oh, well, she was like, slaves were brought here for work or whatever, and that's why I talk back to them, that child is right, because that's wrong what the teacher is saying. Or if the child says something as though like, oh, she did this while she was talking to me, and that's what set me off, You feel me? You shouldn't just whoop them because they felt a certain type of way, and they're a human being. They have feelings. If they felt disrespected by something the teacher does, you should feel comfortable in your parenting that your child wouldn't stray from a wrong path if they were, you feel me, for no reason at all.
Okay. But I agree completely with him, but like I grew up where there was that communication, like that was there, and my parents valued my feelings, what I thought, and they wanted me to talk like that. So that wasn't lacking for me, and that's why whoopings wasn't abuse for me.
So I got a story. So like kind of like you were saying, like with the teacher. So the teacher called. So the whole issue was the teacher called my mother and told me that I wasn't going to classes. Now from my perspective, I was in the office every single day trying to figure out what happened with my classes. Why am I not in a class? This was in high school. So she was I guess she had told me, she was like, well she didn't say nothing to me. The teacher didn't say anything to me. So she called my mom and my mom called me. And of course she was mad because obviously if she hearing from a teacher, okay, yeah, you skipping classes, this and that. And I'm trying to talk to her, like, Mom, look, I'm not skipping classes, I'm not doing this or that. And she's like, okay, well, this is what your teacher said. I said, okay, give me a second. So I feel like it's really on that communication level of what you have with your parents. Even before it gets to the discipline. Yeah, I understand. You do have to understand both sides of the story. So it's like, okay, yeah, your teacher told me this. So let me hear what you got to say. And then I actually had to go and tell the teacher, look, hey, you told my mom the wrong thing. Oh, no, that's not what I meant. Then my mom went down on the teacher.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's really all about that communication. But at the same time, if it wouldn't have been for the discipline, she probably wouldn't have came down on me as hard, and she probably would just let it go.
If it wouldn't have been what? Like, if she didn't discipline you beforehand?
If she wouldn't have, like told me before, okay, like, don't skip classes and stuff like that, I feel like she wouldn't have even came down on me at all about it. She would have just let it go.
But I'm saying, as a parent, you should communicate with your children. When I say develop the foundation, I mean develop what's right and what's wrong and morality and all that before you start disciplining them on choosing the wrong morality, period.
Right. So you feel like even in that situation, even though the teacher called. No,
I'm saying that, like, all right, if your child is like 14 or whatever, and the teacher called me and like, all right, your child is skipping my class or whatever, call my child.
Right.
Your teacher said that you were skipping class or whatever. You don't explain this reason as to why, and based on this reason and his logical, and I would go from there. And go back and forth and figure it out before I even think about laying their finger on it.
Well, you guys, that is our show.
Any positive, like, memories?
Please, like, growing up black isn't about. Oh yeah, growing up black is not about getting whoopings.
The most memorable times of my life were outside and where we climbed trees, and I feel like kids nowadays do not know how to climb
Don't
trees.
play chitlins. Y'all weirdos for not liking chitlins. First off, chitlins, some hot sauce and some greens and a little bit of.
That's some southern stuff.
No, it's not.
My mom's from
I don't eat chitlins.
My mother's from Indiana, and she likes chitlins. And her whole her mom.
Okay, when I found out what it was, I used to eat it, but when I found out what it was, like.
Or did you? Hold on. Have you ever been in the kitchen while they was cleaning it?
Yeah, they stink. They smell horrible.
I don't like it.
But your smell, do you know the only way you can get rid of that smell is by onions? Like setting onions and garlic in your house and like boiling it in a pot of water to get that damn smell.
All we did was open the back door and
That's
let it
not
filter out.
We eat that shit. We had McDonald's, we.
It didn't bother me.
So, what's your most memorable time as a child of being black?
She's thinking you out.
Well, I'm going to work. Oh, dang, you ain't got no memory?
I do, but like.
Well, I'll go.
You said chitlins. We're going to Jody.
My most memorable, my favorite memories all include me, like, summer nights in Chicago playing with my cousins. Like, I got a big ass, like, family. So we all, like, go to one house and we all, like, go to the park and play fight and all types of wild stuff going on around there. So, they were my most favorite memories.
My favorite memories of being Black is going to the Essence Festival. I have been going to the Essence Festival ever since I was 17 with my mom and her sisters or whatever. And we still kind of continue the tradition of going, but sometimes it get played out. But I like the Essence Festival. If you've never been, I highly recommend you go to the Essence Festival. I mean, it's worth the $300 it is for early booking and your tickets because it really just celebrates your all around blackness and Black excellence.
Okay, cool. Mine was I actually got a couple of them, but I'm gonna give you two. So mine was my aunt. We would have like movie nights, and it's like we would like go get a movie from like Blockbusters, and then like get a bunch of candy, get a bunch of food, and then we all like. She had a huge flat screen TV, not a flat screen TV, but it was like a big TV.
Oh, the
Of
dinosaur
course, it had
TV.
the back in it.
Yeah, I used to call that the butt. That's the butt.
But yeah, we would all lay down right in front of that and watch the movies all night. It was like Friday or whatever. So it was that, and then mine were really like my birthdays when I was younger. Like when I was younger, like I remember it was just this one year that really like got me because I was asleep when I went to sleep. My mom was wrapping something. And then when I woke up the next morning, it was like presents all around my bed. That was the dopest memory.
Y'all know what we forgot about? Cookouts and family reunions.
I have no family reunion, so I can help you.
I went to one.
Thanksgiving and Christmas.
My cookouts and family reunions was cracking, you feel me? It was so much fun. I got a free like school supplies.
Family vacations.
Nope,
Yes.
I didn't get none of those.
When I was growing up, we had the family cookouts for 4th of July and Christmas, and we still do. But in my family also, this is sad. My family, my sister, brother, mom, and dad, we all kind of like excluded from the rest of the family. So,
Cause y'all was up it. Oh, I was kidding. Dang, I was gonna take it back. But y'all, that is our show for tonight. I hope we enlighten you on some of our experience. And change your parenting skills. Try to be more opening with your kids. We ain't parents, but
we're going
Make
to
sure you communicate.
communicate.
Your children are
I
Of course.
I have
big ages.
open communication.
And use the rod accordingly.
Thank you.
Accordingly. There we go.
And use the approved rod.
I'm using a switch. I don't give a.
Okay, and that's our show for tonight. Thank you guys for
Don't
watching.
kill them.
Beat them and kill them. There we go.
Oh.
Don't kill people.